Let's build some site context, I guess, for lack of another term for it. We're going to add some sidewalk around the building. You can see in this view how it's actually hiding the foundation compared to this image here. And we'll put a little curb on it and then set that whole in a sea of asphalt, so to speak, or the roadway. So let's go ahead and get started with that. I'm going to escape out of this slideshow and we'll go into our BIM model or Revit. And I'm in a model view of our current project. And I'm going to go to the site because that's where we're going to construct that sidewalk around the building. So I'm going to zoom in here and just start with the idea of some shape for our sidewalk. And the tool that we use is the floor tool, and we use the architectural floor tool. Let's go ahead and create that texture for it first. So I'm going to go ahead to it and edit type. And I'm going to duplicate it. I'll call it sidewalk. Pavers, because we'll be using a texture on it. And I'll click OK. And we'll go ahead and edit that. And we'll make it 8 inches thick instead of 4 inches. That's because we're going to step down a road around it, and I don't want it to look like it's floating. So we'll make that 8 inches. And we're going to change this texture. And we're going to create a new one. So I'm going to go over here and click down and create a new texture. Right click on that and rename it. Paver for sidewalk. And we need a texture, so I'll click on texture. It's looking for one. And so let's just bounce out here for a second back to Chrome. And I'll take us to where I will have those textures loaded for you. We've already loaded the plank and the brick. So we're going to go ahead then and load the curb color, which is just a concrete, and then the pavement texture. So I'll click on the pavement texture to start, and that takes us to a download where we can right click on this or an image, and we can save that image. And I'm going to save that to my typical location. I've got to get near C5 here. Let's see, in process, and I'll save the texture here. So I have that paver texture saved. And while we're here, let's go ahead and grab this curb color also and save that in the same location. So I right click to save the image, and I'll save it in my same folder. And just so you know, that pavement texture that I found, I got by Googling seamless paver textures and then selecting one. Now, seamless means that there's a repeat. I'll try to explain that better in lecture. The idea is that you wouldn't see any seams between these when they're mated up because each edge contains what's contained in the next side or the other side of the image. So when they're all put together, it appears that they're just continuous. Some of these do exist that way and some of them don't. This looks like the one that I pulled out, and it seems to work pretty good. So it's a matter of experimentation. So let's go back and complete our texture here. Let me go and navigate to where I have saved that file. Whoops. Sorry. And there's our paver texture. And behind my big head is the open. And we'll click on this just to see how large it is. It's only 1 foot. So let's say that these were each a foot. So that'd be 3, 6, 9, maybe 10 feet. So I'm going to change the scale to 10 feet. Oops, not 13. 10. Done. I'll click OK. OK. And OK, and we're ready to start drawing. So I'm just going to make a square to start with. And we're going to then pull this one edge off a little bit. So I'm going to grab the modify tool, click on this. It says 6 inches because it's dimensioning to the center of the wall. The little hinting there. And so I want it to sit 16 feet off from the building. So I'm going to add 16 feet. And it sits there. I'm going to select this one and do the same thing. So by putting it 16 feet off and having it say 16'6", I know that it's right 16 feet to the front edge of the building. Now with the other two sides, this is just to basically give us a little breathing room around our site. I'll just pull this off. You could imagine this would be a large lot or something like that. And the last thing I'd like to do is grab the fillet tool up here and create a little round edge to the corner where, this would be the intersection. And you'll notice I did that very crudely because I'm going to come back now and just select these. It's much easier to just redimension these after you've drawn them if you don't want to zoom in. So now these are both at 6 feet. And we need to make a cutout here so the building, just so our pavers don't go all the way through the building. I just want to show you the basic technique here. I'm just going to draw an opening in this, and I'll complete that off. I don't want to attach that to anything. And we'll go to the model view, and I'll just zoom out here. And you can see wherever we put any other shape in there, as we've done in some other labs, it works as a cutout. So I want to make sure this cutout exists under the building now. So I'm going to go back to the site, double click on this. Excuse me. We'll delete this. And then I'll just walk around this building and make a bit of a cutout. So I'm going to I'm still in that editing mode. I haven't completed. And I'll just go around here. I could put this on chain. I'll just zoom in so I get a little more accuracy. That's probably that front edge. Now you'll notice I step back here for the entry because that's going to be on the outside of the building. And I'm also going to step back here because that's an outdoor maybe eating area or something that's cut back on that building. Actually, I don't think it's cut back on the first floor. Let me go sneak out to, I forget what that looks like. Oh yeah, there's a cut back there also. So let me go back and complete this off. So I want to cut back just as I've drawn. I want to come out to that outside edge of the wall there. And I'm not exactly sure where that is. So I'm just going to go ahead and draw. Oops, it happens to work out perfect. All right, so now I have that cutout, both the entry area and that little outdoor area where the building is stepped back are both covered with the exterior sidewalk. So I'll click complete. I don't want to attach it. And we'll look at that from the model view. I'll click it off. And we'll zoom in and you can see the paver texture now. And you can see here the contrast between the interior concrete floor and the paver texture on the outside. In the next clip, we'll pick up adding a curb and the road to this.